What is going on, people? Let me go ahead and show you here the rally party that happened a couple of days ago in Kingdom 665, which is where we're at right now. We migrated over before a bunch of these guilds came over, and what ended up happening was some of the M44 family followed us here, and then shortly after that SGK and a bunch of the Sugar family guilds migrated in, and then M44 family followed suit. So this kingdom now is like a huge battleground, so it's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds. But here I was just getting on in to join this rally party that we had. I believe I counted at least 25 rallies at one point. So yeah, it's becoming one of those kingdoms, and I was finally able to get on and start joining the rallies. And unfortunately, our rally leader here, Tofu, he was not on the call that was going on, so we were about 15 seconds late as far as like the timer on this. And if you guys know, most of these rallies, especially like the rally parties that are 10, 20 plus rallies, they don't really use timers. What they essentially do is they make sure that everybody starts their rally at the same time. That way everybody starts launching at the same time. So here's the first one. Unfortunately for KC32, first of all, I don't think he was online. Big mistake in this kingdom. And he was not going to take all of these rallies. So yeah, he did take a couple, and then it was just a little too overwhelming. Unfortunately, like I said, we were a little too late, and you can see that there is still like 4 or 5 rallies still marching after the fact. So it is what it is. They did okay considering, but yeah, we did not hit any sort of troops. But since I was then able to go ahead and join the rally call that we had, then I went ahead and just took over. That way our timing was a little bit better. That way we weren't like 15-20 seconds late. You know, and because when that happens, you're either going to be the last one hitting, which means that you're probably not going to get any troops, or you're gonna be easily countered if the person does come online. So yeah, it was not ideal. But anyways, we were going for this guy next. We got about 1.3 billion might, and obviously that's obvious fake gear. So our inclination was that he was online the whole time, because I don't know, like sometimes you just need to know how to make fake gear look and work. And some of those accessories just kind of gave him away. Like, nobody uses those accessories, especially together. Especially when you have a gold tacit. Like, no. You gotta have at least some blight rings, etc. So we knew that he was online. So it was just a matter of, can he take these rallies? So there we go. At least this time we are gonna walk on time with everybody else. We were a little bit in the backs, but you know, it is what it is. You just gotta try to find your place. And he finally switches over to his real gear. I don't know why he switched to his only infantry gear. I don't really know why people are starting to do that. And he actually burns while we still had a good like 4 or 5 more rallies to go. Our rally unfortunately didn't get there, because if you didn't know, if you burn in the forest, you're automatically ported out, and all the attacks on you after are automatically cancelled. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show you here the hits. But I don't really understand why I'm seeing more of that nowadays. Like, to switch into a 1 troop type gear when you're taking a bunch of rallies, like that's not ideal. You want to switch into your mixed gear, because that means your whole army is going to be able to actually withstand it. And honestly, I don't know if he would have been able to take all the rallies, but if he would have had mixed gear on, considering his gear, I mean, he has mythic champ legs and things like that, he should probably have a decent amount of like decent mixed gear, and he probably would have been able to take most of these rallies. He would have probably still lost a lot, but he wouldn't have burned. So yeah, I mean, from 1.35 billion to just under a billion with that gear on. See, also, the problem with that thing is, even if your infantry is front line, what happens after your front line is gone? Like, your cavalry will have no stats, your range will have no stats, and the only way that you do decent is if their numbers are just insane. That's about it. But yeah, I mean, we actually found him right after we burned him, but of course he didn't have fury, so we couldn't really take advantage of it. See, he's right there burning. And then some people started porting over, but like, what's the point of setting a rally when the guy is burning? He knows that he burned and he doesn't have fury, so there's no way that he was gonna take 20 plus rallies again. So at that point I thought about going, but I'm like, it's gonna be pretty useless. He'll just shield. So we found the next target here. And speaking speaking about shields, okay, here's the thing about rally parties. Like, you guys are seeing most of the hits that we were able to land. Of course, I did come in a little late, like I mentioned at the beginning, so I actually did miss like 2 or 3 zeros. After you get those first couple of initial zeros, the kingdom is kind of like alerted. That means that most guilds will have the information that the rally party is going on, so they start making sure that everybody knows in their guild. And then after the first couple, you're only really gonna catch the people that are either trying to take it, or the people that are just out of it. They're heavy sleepers, whatever, unavailable. And this is what happens. This is what's gonna start happening. You start porting to people, and then they just shield last second, and it becomes a lot of that. Like, we literally went 40-45 minutes without ever hitting anything, just porting to targets, setting rallies, and then they'll just shield and laugh. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, it was what it was. That's the reason why we started going for higher might targets. You see the 1.3 1.4 billion, because all the lower might ones were either online, they shielded, or they were just baiting. So it became one of those rally parties. But yeah, we started going for this dude right here, 1.3 plus billion. But he, smartly, may I add, actually goes ahead and ports away. Now, I feel like that's smart, because when you have a rally party of this size, 25 plus rallies, once you port away, you actually put the pressure back on the rally party, whether they want to launch it and try to carp it, and then give enough wiggle room for you to actually heal, or just cancel altogether. So I feel like that's pretty smart. Especially since I don't really know what his troop comp was. Maybe it wasn't like that great, because at 1.3 billion now, especially if you have all the research, your troop comp may not be like that crazy. But here's the next person, Sam Cheng. Once again, another person that is in infantry gear, although at least this time it just seems like he's AFK in that gear, not necessarily that he swapped to it. So yeah, we got our rally party here. And I unfortunately was going infantry, and I'm gonna tell you why that was unfortunate here in the end. And yeah, first of all, infantry walks kind of slow, but yeah, you're gonna see why. So we start walking, everybody starts walking, and let's take a look at his starting might. I believe it was 1.4 billion plus, and yeah, he starts taking these rallies. I asked for carpets just so that way we're not like completely the last one, because infantry just walks slowly, and I was not next to them at all. So yeah, you can see that it was basically 2 rallies that were coming in pretty much at the end, and I believe both of us were infantry. Now I get capped. Here's where things start going south for me, because yes, I got capped. That's the beginning of it though. Here's what happens. They said that they were going to pardon if we get capped, so I'm like, I gotta execute my 60, and it's gone. That's right. Cry. I was literally like less than half a second away from killing it off. That way I could get the boost, because I wanted to keep the 60 because I needed it for my prison boost, but I wanted to execute it before the pardon, but I unfortunately was not able to do that. And here's why that was unfortunate that I went infantry, because they cleared out his infantry and I hit literally like 10 plus million cavalry. So I hit like a wet noodle. My infantry went straight into a bunch of calves, which is not great. So on this last one, we're trying to clear it out, and I asked the guild to go ahead and zoom it in there to try and beat everybody else this time. You know, because we haven't really been getting too much. The rally party has, but us not necessarily. And yeah, that's what we got. So yeah, I mean, we got a couple of good hits in. It's just unfortunate that when I came in, we weren't able to really do much. So unfortunate, but the rally party was definitely a nice success. We had 25 plus. I feel like if we set it up better, we can definitely get 30 to 35, because in our guild we can split, and I know in a lot of these other guilds we can split more. So yeah, let me go ahead and show you what a bunch of these hits look like. And you know, I don't, he looked like he had a bunch of troops. I think he had like 30 or 40 million troops. It was a freaking lot, okay? And he ate really strong people's hits very well. But in the end, if you're in a kingdom like this, especially when you have two huge families here, Sugar and M44, you do not want to be unshielded or offline for any long periods of time, because at any time, any of these families can start a rally party or just do something crazy, and you don't want to be caught with your pants down like Sam here was. He has since shielded, and I guess he's gonna be rebuilding, but yeah, it was very unfortunate about the freaking pardon, but it is what it is. We had fun, and we'll see how it goes from here. But yeah, appreciate you guys for watching, and until later.